Hi, hajimasu. What's up, guys? My name is Agent Psycho, and we are going to get started on the 37th chapter for the Exploring the Arsenal series. These chapters are going out pretty fast, and we're going to be looking at the Anaconda family, not the Python, but the Anaconda family. The Python is the most recent pistol that has been introduced to combat arms in the latest April 25th patch, I believe. So, yeah, I was kind of getting confused there because they are both revolvers. But anyways, let's get started on the Anaconda review. Now, the Anaconda Black, a little bit of background information on the Anaconda Black is that it does cost 550 GP a day, and it is unlocked as Status Sergeant 2. So there's your little background information available there. And yeah, that's pretty much all you need to know about the background information for that. So, I mean, there's nothing else that is of significance in that respect. So now let's get into the statistics, the raw nitty-gritty statistics of the Anaconda Black. Once again, the Anaconda Black is the first revolver, GP revolver, that you can unlock. That's not a portable variant. So, yeah, let's get started on the stats. So the damage is very high for the Anaconda Black at 70. One thing to know about the damage on the Anaconda Black is that before, for other revolvers like the forgeable revolvers that you can get from the Gun Emporium by forging several pistols, before I've mentioned for some of them that some of them don't really feel like they are two-shot kills. Like sometimes it's very easily tanked or stuff like that. The Anaconda Black, you don't need to worry about it being tanked. It's almost always going to be a two-shot kill. In fact, throughout all my experiences using the Anaconda Black, because the Anaconda Black has been around, it's one of the classic pistols of combat arms. It's been around since the open beta days anyway. I have never actually experienced like anyone tanking my Anaconda Black shots, even at long range, because the revolvers are typically very accurate over long range. Even at long range, damage drop off is very, very nice, and the damage drop off will only reduce your damage by per bullet by like a couple points. And in other words, its damage drop-off is very, very consistent over range, and you'll definitely enjoy a very nice two-shot kill up to a very, very long distance away. I believe you're gonna have to start shooting people at like miles away with the Anaconda Black if you want to get like a three-shot kill on someone. But then again, that's pretty inefficient, so why even bother? So that's its damage. The portability on the Anaconda Black is at a very good 90, so it is still the classic. It still has the same very good portability that all other revolvers do enjoy, or all the pistols, that is, not just revolvers anyway. So yeah, very good portability. Rate of fire on the revolver is at a very, very slow 12 rate of fire, because obviously, understandably so, because this is a revolver, and it's not like you can just go around spamming a revolver unless you got the Anaconda Gold, which I will be doing the review as part of this chapter as well, because I mean it is an Anaconda variant anyway. So the rate of fire, it is very slow to make up for its very, very high damage. So there's a little bit of trade-off you got to use there. You got to have there, if you want to use the Anaconda Black. The accuracy on the Anaconda Black is at a very high, a pretty solid 65. Although, I'm gonna go in depth about the accuracy a little bit, so hang in there for a second. The recoil on the Anaconda Black is at a very high 70. Now, its recoil statistic is only high in the fact that its recoil kickback is very, very high. Let's talk about the recoil aspects right now. The recoil spread on the Anaconda Black. Let me shut my window because it might be distracting to my neighbors. Because the neighborhood in which I live is pretty. People talking in one house can really easily be heard in another house. So, especially if you have your windows open. So, yeah, I gotta close my window whenever I try to commentate these. But anyways, the recoil spread on the Anaconda Black, it is very, very tight. In fact, the revolvers in combat arms have probably the tightest spreads in combat arms, aside from like the burst fire pistols, like the G18 and what was the other one? The Beretta M93R. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. So there you have it. So the spread is very, very good. It caters perfectly towards its very tight spread and its very good accuracy, making the Anaconda Black a very good choice for like one-clicking, peasing, or like just overall long-distance pistoling. So it's very good, especially if you crouch. The hipfire, the crosshairs on your Anaconda Black will tighten up a little bit more, but it's still a lot more accurate. Now here's where the recoil kind of lives up to a statistic that Nexon gives it. The recoil kickback on the Anaconda Black is very, very high. And as you can see in this gameplay, the kickback from each shot takes your crosshairs up noticeably high, like really, really high. And even the animation of your Anaconda Black kicking back is also kind of disorienting as well. At least in my opinion, anyway, because the barrel of your gun is constantly flicking over on you in front of you, so it may distract you a little bit as well. Also, compared to all of the pistols anyway, the Anaconda Black's recoil kickback is so much greater. For example, compared to like even the M1911, and the USP. The USP and the M1911 had pretty heavy recoils up till now, but compared to the Anaconda Black, it's nowhere near the Anaconda Black's kickback. So you may want to watch out for the recoil kickback on the Anaconda Black. But then again, because of its low rate of fire at 12, you don't have to worry about it too much because it will settle back to for the most part. But even still, if you fire the Anaconda Black as fast as humanly possible, you'll still find that the recoil kickbacks are still high enough that they can actually stack on each other, or what's left of it after the recoil spread has kind of settled down a bit in between shots. So there you have it. The recoil is one to be feared, or kind of it's something to look out for, basically. So yeah, what's one of the main disadvantages of the Anaconda Black, aside from its slow rate of fire as well. So moving on to its Tapfire ability. Obviously, it's a pistol, so we all know it can be tap-fired. Moving on to the Sprint Drawback. Sprint Drawback on the Python is a little bit slower than the other pistols, in my honest opinion anyway, because the animation of your the sprint animation on your Python, or when your character base holds the Python and runs with it, the rate at which your character kind of draws the Anaconda back into its fire ready position takes a little bit of time, a little bit longer than your G23 or your K5, or basically the other spammable pistols in combat arms. So you may want to just walk around when you have the Anaconda out. Just saying. Moving on to the draw speed. The draw speed is definitely slower than other pistols, because it is a revolver. The revolver does kind of your character kind of like has to flip the barrel into its magazine. I don't know what you call it, but basically it just has your character basically like flicks the barrel into the gun. So that animation kind of takes it takes a lot longer than just clicking back, like just locking and cocking your slide on your G23. So the draw speed is something to be kind of wary of. So you may want to have this out ready and good to go to fire before you actually do anything. Moving on to the center speed. The center speed is very fast, as with most other pistols. The Anaconda, even the revolvers are no exception, because even though it technically does have a slower center speed than do other handguns, because of its very slow rate of fire, the center speed has more than enough time to settle back. So the center speed is not something you should worry about. The reload speed. The reload speed on the Anaconda Black is moderately slow, and when you when you first initiate the reload process, it feels fast because your character kind of flings out the bullets all at once. But then as your character starts putting all the bullets back in, your character suddenly slows down. And it's like in slow motion. You slap the magazine back into the cylinder back into the gun again. It's like slow motion, like that. So that's why I say the reload speed is kind of on the slower side for. Actually, it's not kind of. It is on the lower side for handguns. Especially for handguns, but for revolvers in general as well, the Anaconda Black's reload speed is probably the slowest, one of the slowest, if not the slowest. Moving on to the fire modes. The fire mode on the Anaconda Black, the only one that's available is semi-automatic or single fire. Nexon technically considers it as double action, but it basically means you have to click for each shot. So take it as you will. Moving on to the luck. The luck on the Anaconda Black is kind of wacky, because the Anaconda Black is more like your precision and your power pistol, and because of the fact that it has very tight crosshairs for a power pistol and for for a handgun in general, the luck really depends on your aim for this one. I know a couple people, like one of these guys in this game, does shit. He goes around getting lots of PCs on people, but the thing about the Anaconda Black is that because of its very high accuracy and very high, very tight crosshairs, it is very, very useful in getting headshots. But that's only if you actually aim for headshots, and if you're good at it, then you can get headshots very easily because of the Anaconda's very tight spread. However, that's what makes it kind of makes me feel that it's so lucky, or I don't know how to explain this, but basically your luck depends on your aim. If you don't aim for the head, you'll probably never get a headshot, except for certain times in this gameplay you'll see me get a random headshot out of the blue. But for the most part, you're not going to get a headshot, unlike the G23 or spammable pistols. When you spam bullets, chances are if you aim at their chest, one of the bullets that you fire will strike them in the head sometime. So that's how the gun is lucky. However, the Anaconda Black, because it's like the accuracy pistol, and it doesn't have the same spread as a Deagle does, or the Desert Eagle. That's what I call it, Deagle. Anyways, the Anaconda Black's luck entirely depends, or most of the time depends on your own aim. If you aim for the general head area, chances are you're probably gonna get a headshot. If you don't, probably not. So there you have it. Moving on to the ammo capacity. The ammo capacity on the Anaconda Black is at a very low 6 rounds in the cylinder and only 12 in reserve. So that's the ammo capacity is kind of lacking there. But if you think about it, if you always manage to hit your enemies twice, 2 bullets per enemy, then you can take out a lot of people. Let's see, doing that, 9 people total. But I mean, still, that's only 9 people. So there you have it. Key physical characteristics. So the Python, I just said the Python again. The Anaconda Black. The Anaconda Black Revolver is a kind of, it looks kind of oldish, like it looks like an antique firearm pretty much. I mean, it always reminded me of like one of those blunderbusses from the New World Age era, whatever whatchamacallit. My history is getting rusty. Anyways, so it's got a black cylinder, muzzle, barrel, action. All that's the only part that's not black, I'm not trying to be racist here, but is its grip, its pistol grip, and it's like a brown kind of grip on it. So for some reason the profile picture on Nexon's Arsenal page, it shows like a yellow dot in the middle of the Anaconda Black's grip. I don't know why that's there, or why. Yeah, I don't know if it's there. So, anyways, that's what it looks like. Moving on to the muzzle noise. The muzzle noise on the Anaconda Black is a very, very loud bang, bang, bang. That's pretty much what it is, like a pow, pow, pow. So as you guys can probably hear from the gameplay, it's every time I fire the Anaconda, that's probably what you're gonna hear over my own voice. So yeah, it is a very loud pistol, and people will definitely know what you're using. They'll automatically know you're at least using one of the Anaconda series, because all the Anacondas, I believe, have all the same identical muzzle noises. Like, they all make the same firing noise. So people will definitely know that you're using the Anaconda even from far away, because the muzzle noise is just very, very loud. Moving on to the attachment options. You cannot attach anything at all on the Revolver, which is unfortunate because you can't. I mean, it doesn't make sense to put an extended magazine on a Revolver, because I mean the cylinder. It's kind of hard to put more bullets into a set cylinder. You can't put a sight on it, which kind of sucks. Well, I mean, I never really used sights to begin with, but I mean, if you guys prefer using sights on your pistols, then I guess that sucks for you. And you can't put a silencer on it, because putting a silencer on a Revolver makes as much sense as, jeez, what's a good analogy? I should have thought of some other analogies some other time. Anyways, I'll make sure to get good analogies later. But anyways, it doesn't make much sense to put a suppressor on your Revolver, so whatever. Unfortunately, you can't really do anything with your Anaconda Black. Once you buy it, you're good to go. Moving on to the whether or not it's fire team worthy. I mean, I personally don't like bringing power pistols into fire team, just because of the fact that they have less ammo than do other handguns. I much prefer bringing my USB Tactical SE or like a G23 Carbon Black to fire team, just for the sheer fact that they have more ammo. So there you have it. I mean, but if you do want to bring your Anaconda Black with you to fire team, then I mean, go ahead. At least this is only pertaining to Cabin Fever and like the zombie fire teams. Maybe you can bring it to like the NPC fire teams, but I mean, knock yourself out if you want to. Moving on to the whether or not it's quarantine worthy. Well, I mean, honestly speaking, I would much. Well, I don't know how I should say this, but it would make much more sense to me if I saw people bringing like G23s or other higher ammo capacity pistols to quarantine. Because I mean, it doesn't really make much sense for someone to bring like the Anaconda Black to quarantine. I mean, sure, because it is a revolver and does a lot more damage. I think the revolvers push the zombies back a lot more than do like just the regular G23 and all. But I mean, honestly speaking, I would much prefer bringing a G23 just because of the fact that it has more ammo. So there you have it. Now for my frank personal opinions. Oh yeah, before I forget, it is able to be customized, and I did use actually I don't know. Oh no, hold on. I done goofed. The Anaconda Black is not able to be customized, but the Anaconda Black 8-inch is able to be customized. Sorry, I done goofed. Anyways, so skip the customization stuff. It is able to be forged though, so, and I'll also be doing the review on the forgeable variant of the Anaconda Black later. But anyways, my frank personal opinions on the Anaconda Black. The Anaconda Black is a surprisingly effective weapon if you have your accuracy down. I mean, all in all, the disadvantages of the Anaconda Black are negligible because I mean, its high recoil is negated by its slow rate of fire, so you can take your time with your Anaconda Black, or you're forced to take your time rather. Not just you can, but you're forced to. It has very good accuracy, very tight hipfire spread, making it one of the most accurate handguns in combat arms, like the family of revolvers in combat arms. And on top of that, it's very powerful. So if anyone's like lower than 70 HP, let's say, then most likely if you shoot them once, they're down, even at any range, because the Anaconda Black has very good range. So I believe that's one of its best advantages, because the fact that the Anaconda Black is a straight up 2-shot kill almost anywhere, anytime. So that's the advantages that you can expect from the Anaconda Black. Before we finish this review up, basically my frank personal opinions on the Anaconda Black are that it's good, but it's just not practical. If you want to go try hard, then you're better off with your USB Tactical SC or your G23 somewhat. But I mean, it is still a very fun gun to use, and you can definitely go kick some ass with it. All right, so now that we got my frank personal opinions aside, before we wrap this review up, I want to mention a quick thing about the Anaconda Black. The Anaconda Black, the two things about the Anaconda Black, not just one but two. The Anaconda Black has a weird quirk about it that every time you want to fire, there is not an immediate response. What I mean by that is when you click to fire a shot on the Anaconda Black, the game will actually take like a split second, like a half a second or a quarter of a second, to actually register the fact that you told your Anaconda Black to actually fire a shot. This means that when you click, you have to wait a quarter or a quarter or a tenth of a second afterwards in order for your Anaconda Black to fire. Basically, this means that you have to basically lead your shot. And in other words, you have to track your enemy down. Once you see your enemy, it's not like you can just immediately start firing. You have to track your enemy, make sure your enemy doesn't escape your crosshairs, and then click and make sure your crosshairs do not leave your enemy. That's how you have to. That's the only way you can use the Anaconda Black, because that's just how it performs. That's why most people don't like the Anaconda Black, because of the fact that there is a fire delay between when you click and when your gun actually fires a damn shot. This is one of the most difficult aspects about the Anaconda Black, and it's something that most people just either don't get at all, or it takes people a long time to master it, myself included. I still haven't mastered it myself yet, so I'm still trying to work on it. But that's probably the thing about the Anaconda Black that is most disadvantageous. Also, the Anaconda Black does suffer from the same fact from other pistols, that when you fire a shot and you immediately tap R to reload, or whatever your reload button is, there will be a slight delay between when you press R and when your gun actually starts reloading. However, this delay is much shorter than it is on other guns, like say the G23 or other spammable pistols. So I guess that's kind of like a good thing in itself. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. This will conclude the Anaconda Black review. Next review will be on the Anaconda Black 8-inch. So hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later. ゆっくりしてってね。